day 7 of my DIY gift ideas. And you know, sometimes just a really special card can be a gift for someone. Well, today I have a beautiful fun fold card to share with you with a technique to create a 3D pop-up focal point on the front of it and a matching Christmas ornament. Let's take a look at it. Today's card is a beautiful easel card, and these really are fairly simple to create. Now, to the easel card base, I added this really fun technique in the front to create this pop-up 3D feature with the tree, the penguin, and the snowman. And I'm really excited to share this with you, as well as how to create a coordinating ornament. So let's take a look at what we need. Now, these are the materials for one of the cards. And to create an ornament, you'll just need a little bit more white cardstock. So the pieces we need are a 5.5 by 8.5 card base. We need some designer paper. What I am using is from the Painted Christmas Designer Paper Pack, which I think is so pretty. These measure 4 inches by, two pieces that measure 4 inches by 1 inch and a piece that measures 2 3/4 by 4. I need a mat that contrasts with the card base. It measures 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. I have a 2 1/4 inch circle. This is from our In Color Shimmery Vellum. This comes in five colors in that pack. It is so pretty. I've been using bits and pieces of this on a ton of my projects lately. We are going to need some scrap paper to do some stamping and punching. We need a piece of white that measures 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. We need a strip that matches your card base. This measures 1/2 by 3 inches, and then a tag for your greeting on the front. Mine measures 1/2 inch by 2.5 inches. First, what I want to do is prepare our card base. So we are going to need to do a little bit of cutting and a little bit of scoring for this fun technique. When I need to do cutting and scoring, I always grab my Stampin' Up trimmer. I love that it has cutting and scoring blades on it. So the first thing I want to do is score down the center for the card fold on the 4 1/4 inch measurement. So this lighter blade, that is the scoring blade. Now I need to make a couple of cuts. I'm going to line this edge up with the 1 1/4 inch mark over here on the left side of the cutting track. And I'm going to cut only down to my score line. Now, one of the things I love about this trimmer is it does have the measurements on the ruler, so I can look right here and cut down to 4 1/4. Now, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'll flip it over and do it a second time. Exact same way. Okay. Now we need to do one more score line, and I'm going to turn this direction with the flaps that are cut here on the left side, the uncut piece on the right side. I want to line this up at 2 1/8. And I'm going to score just from this cut line to this cut line. Now our card base is prepared. Let's prepare one more thing before we go any farther, and that will be the pieces, the pop-up focal point pieces for the front. I am going to use the Perfectly Plaid stamp set and the Pine Tree Punch for this one we're creating right now. Now, the other ones I used for the other cards were the Penguin Place set and the Snowman Season set. These are 3 sets I have used over and over and over again. I find that I really use these punch bundles a lot because they're quick and easy to use. So I'm going to link in the video description below to some other projects I've created with these. I have a lot of sample projects, some fun folds, some really cool techniques, some really fun things you may enjoy looking at if you like today's video. So those will be in the video description below. So I have one of the tree stamps and my garden green ink pad. For the card alone, you're going to need 3 of your pieces punched. Now, if you want to make an ornament as well, you'll need 4 additional ones for that ornament. You could do this with other stamp and punch sets as long as they're symmetrical on the left and right sides. I looked through all of my collection of my Christmas punch sets, and any of the ones that were symmetrical on the left and right side, those were the ones I got out. So I just love our punches. They're so easy to use. And now what I want to do with these is basically we're going to have to fold each of these in half from top to bottom. And I find it's a little bit easier to do it if I have scored them in the center. You can skip this step if you want to, but I do find that it helps. So I'm going to line these up with the top and bottom centered on that cutting track. Carefully lower this so that hopefully they don't move, and run that scoring blade over the top. So now they each have a score line right down the center. Okay, we will set these aside. Let's begin to assemble our card now. So I'll first fold this in half, and I'm actually going to flip it over this way and use my bone folder. Give that a nice crease. To make this a little bit easier, you can actually go ahead and attach these 2 side flaps down to the card. They will not open at all. So I'll run some adhesive across there. Get them folded down and attached. Bring in all my pieces and parts here. Next, I want to attach my designer paper pieces to those side strips. There you can see another one of the prints in that painted Christmas stamp set, or painted Christmas designer paper pack. It's definitely one that I have been using a lot this year. They're just such pretty classic Christmas prints. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the inside. Sometimes I like to do the inside first. I'm not sure why. So on this one that's white, we don't necessarily need this piece, but when you do have a different color of cardstock for the base, you will need this so that you can see your greeting that you stamp inside. The greetings I'm using on this card are from the Frosted Gingerbread set. I've used these greetings a lot, so I wanted to show that to you real quick. I'm going to use some real red ink and this really pretty one that says "Wishing you a Merry Christmas." This small Happy Holidays one I have been using a lot on little tags, such as the one as you see here. So we mount this up here at the top. Below that, we need our 1/2 inch by 3 inch strip that, for the ones that I made, all of the strip measures, the strip matches the color of the card base, so it's white. Now, what happens here is when we fold this on this score line, we'll give that a good crease. Then, when you open up your card, this little strip attached with dimensionals is what is going to hold everything up so that it displays nicely. So let's prepare this piece that goes on top of here. So I have the mat of the cardstock. I'll attach the designer paper on front. Attach this circle. Now with the vellum, I try to keep the adhesive behind where my punches are going to be placed so that if that adhesive would show through, it's hidden. Now with these, with this in color shimmer vellum, I don't really find that the adhesive does show through, but just in case, I just place it behind where my Christmas trees are going to be located. Okay, let's attach this onto the card. Then we will add our trees. This is very important right here, and every once in a while when I'm making this type of a card, I forget. You only want to place adhesive down here on this bottom section, not on the top. If you place it on the top as well, you will basically glue the fun part of your card together, and it isn't going to work as we want it to. If you ever find that your seal doesn't work, it's not catching on your paper, just roll it a tiny bit with your finger and then it should work just perfectly. So we'll lay this on the front. Okay, so here is the majority of our card. We fold it up. It displays really nicely. Now let's create this finishing touch, the trees, the pop-up trees that go on the front. So we did score these. I want to fold this in half. I will mention, I said that these were symmetrical, and technically that's not true. They're very close to symmetrical. They're close enough that I found that this still works with them. Now, I like to use glue for this. You can choose another adhesive if you like, but we are going to run a strip along one side of one of these pieces and place a second one on there. You can move it a little bit to get that lined up nicely. Then we're going to do the same thing again and attach this third one on. So here is what we have, and then on the back side, this is what is going to attach to our card. So if I let this dry for a minute, I would probably use some seal on there to attach it, but for the purposes of our video, we'll go ahead and get it attached on here with some glue. And I think this is just so neat. It adds something really special to a card, and you could create these for lots of other card designs as well, but it does fold flat to go in an envelope. It may create a little bump, so be aware of that, but it folds flat to go in an envelope, and then it can be popped up once it is out of that envelope. So there's our card. Now let me show you quickly how to create that coordinating ornament. So here is my snowman ornament that I've already created. Now let's create, we'll do a penguin this time, the ornament. And what I have right here, I have 3 of those penguins already glued together. So I created this exactly the same way as I did this tree to go on this card. So if this was going on a card, right now what I would do is put adhesive right here and attach it onto that card. But to make an ornament, we are going to add glue to both of these pieces and get this 4th one added in. Then all we need to do is basically add a little hole at the top and some string through. So I'm going to bring in our piercing mat, Stampin' Pierce mat. We don't have this, I don't think, anymore in our Stampin' Up catalog, but we do still offer it. It's online. If you're interested in ordering one, let me know. It's hiding in the online store, but it's not in the catalog. So I'm going to use, this is my take your pick tool. I use it all the time for millions of purposes. I'm going to take this to create a hole in the top. I could have tried to use a hole punch, but I wasn't quite sure I would be able to get a hole punch to go through all of those layers. So create a hole, take some twine and feed it through there. Once you have it through, you can just create a knot at the top. So thanks for watching along for today's special card and matching ornament project. I hope you are liking these DIY gift ideas. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, send a comment down below, and I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.